Sir, your engine is failing. I'm sorry, we have already disposed of the old parts. Once one thing goes, everything goes. That's just the nature of cars. They're great until they're not. The ticking was minor until the shop made it major. Tonight, we expose how an unscrupulous repair shop abused the trust the senior placed in advice and traded that trust with a litany of fraudulent activities, each masquerading as expertise. This is Fraud in a Moment, and the truth starts now. The repair that never ends. The auto shop that fed on fear. Harold Hal Brenner loved his old Buick. At 79, he didn't drive much, just to the grocery store, the pharmacy, and Sunday church. But that car represented independence. It was the last thing where he still felt fully in control. So when the engine made a faint ticking sound one morning, Hal did what any responsible senior would do. He took it to a shop that advertised honest inspections, senior discounts, family-owned. The sign above the garage? Armstrong Auto Care, formerly Honest One Auto Care. Hal didn't know name changes often hide a trail of complaints. He walked in, greeted a man with a too wide a smile and a handshake that felt rehearsed. "Don't worry, sir," the man said. "We'll take great care of you." Hal believed him. The first visit. The mechanic returned after 20 minutes. "Good news," he said. "Just a loose belt. We tightened it. You're all set." Hal paid $89 and drove home feeling relieved. But the next morning, the ticking was louder. The second visit. "Oh yeah," the mechanic said. "That's your alternator. It's failing. Could go any minute. Dangerous to drive." Hal's stomach dropped. He approved the repair. $640, cash preferred. He didn't know that refusing to provide written estimates and pushing cash payments were major red flags. But the alternator was replaced, and Hal drove home. The next day, the engine light came on. The third visit. "Ah, that's your spark plugs," the mechanic said. "They're misfiring, probably unrelated to the alternator." Another $220. Hal paid. He trusted. He hoped. But the Buick ran worse than ever, sputtering, shaking, stalling at stoplights. The fourth visit. This time, the mechanic sighed dramatically. "Sir, I hate to tell you this, but your engine is failing. We can rebuild it for $2,800. If you don't, the car could die on the road." Hal felt panic rise in his chest. He didn't have $2,800. He didn't even have $800. He asked, "How did all this happen so fast?" The mechanic shrugged. These old cars, once one thing goes, everything goes. But Hal remembered something. Before the first visit, the car ran fine except for a faint tick. He asked to see the old parts. The mechanic said they had already been disposed of. Another red flag. Hal left without approving the repair. 2 days later, Hal's neighbor, a retired mechanic, offered to take a look. He opened the hood. He frowned. He leaned in closer. "Hal, your alternator wasn't installed correctly. Your spark plug wires were pulled loose, and this belt, someone cut halfway through it." Hal felt the world tilt. Someone had sabotaged his car. Someone had created problems to keep him coming back. Someone had preyed on him because he was a senior, polite, trusting, and afraid of losing his independence. His neighbor helped him file a complaint, and that's when Hal discovered the truth. Armstrong had dozens of complaints, including one nearly identical to his, accusing them of intentionally damaging engines so customers could return for more repairs. Hal wasn't alone. He was part of a pattern designed to drain seniors of money, confidence, and dignity. What did we learn from this story? 1. Always demand a written estimate before any work begins. Verbal promises disappear when problems arise. 2. Ask to see and keep all replaced parts. Legitimate shops will always provide them. 3. Never pay in cash for auto repairs. Credit cards create a record and allow disputes. 4. Beware of shops that discover new problems every visit. This is a common scam pattern. 5. Research the shop online before going. Look for complaints, name changes, and rip-off reports. 6. If the car runs worse after a repair, get a second opinion immediately. Sabotage is real and documented. 7. Don't be pressured into expensive repairs on the spot. Scammers use fear to force decisions. 8. Bring a trusted friend or family member when possible. 2 sets of ears catch more lies. In the end, Hal didn't lose his Buick, but he almost lost his trust in people. Auto repair scammers don't just break cars. They break confidence. They break independence. They break the sense of safety seniors feel behind the wheel. Scammers count on confusion. They count on fear. They count on seniors not knowing the things to look out for. But awareness is protection, and documentation is power. No mechanic, no matter how friendly, should ever be trusted without proof. This has been Fraud in a Moment, where we expose the schemes hiding in plain sight and give you the tools to protect what's yours. Until next time, stay alert, stay steady, and remember, when the mechanic repeatedly gets your wallet open wide, there's a pretty strong chance he's taking you for a ride.